Who really owns the temple rituals, the priest or the institution?
No one can just take their own proprietorship towards the temple.
Is it possible that can a priest be removed by the administrative authorities?
Yes, the priest can be removed by the administrative authorities,
Court interfere in religious practices as well.
and it cannot decide whether this tradition is right or wrong, whether this custom is right or wrong.
So for someone who is unfamiliar about this, so what are the exactly the temple related cases?
I used to tell them very clearly, my stream of practice is towards temple.
So what do you think when the land is illegally or somewhere encroached by other people?
When the land belongs to the temple,
So, hi, and welcome back to another podcast of Talkwithfeel. My name is Shweta Pandey, a podcast where we talk about real conversation, real stories, and real voice that matters to the world. So, today we have with us distinguished advocate who has been actively practicing before the Honorable Supreme Court of India and 8 other high court across the country. So, Mr. Surya Kanan Savanayagam, he has handled several cases, but most significant in temple-related cases involve issues of religious autonomy and agamic principles and practices, enroachment and administrative governance. His work has contributed to securing meaningful relief in matters that lie at the intersection of faith and constitutional law. So, hi Surya,
hello Sweta,
how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so to begin with, could you please help us, the listener, a bit about your journey with temple related litigation?
Basically, I was more into service related matters, cyber crimes, and matrimonial disputes. The things that brought me to temple litigation was something different, wherein in southern part of India, where I hail from, I am from Tamil Nadu state, where the HRNCE, that is Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments, those which is being misused to a great extent, that brought me to the temple litigation. And moreover, temple litigation involves a lot of traditions and customs, wherein I was like, I hail from the family where traditions and customs were followed from the generation ways, and we were with adinams. Adinams are the one who were into this tradition and customs, and they are the custodian of this constitution and traditions which are being followed, and customs and traditions which are being followed. Yes.
Okay. So for someone who is unfamiliar about this, so what are the exactly the temple related cases?
Yeah, this question was being raised by many of those people. Whenever I am just telling to all those regarding the practice, where do you practice and what do you practice, I used to tell them very clearly, my stream of practice is towards temple. They used to think a lot, what sort of problems do the temple face? Temple faces a lot of disputes. Like whenever an administration default is happening, that will be the first issue that is going on with the temples.
Okay.
There will be the defaulters in the administration, and the customs and traditions will not be followed for something or the other reasons. And because of the political benefits and inclination towards the atheism,
Okay.
they will get into the temple and they will tell that this rituals should not be followed and this customs are against, and those things will come into the things. Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned constitutional principle. So how they come into that play?
Constitutional in itself is like more giving more prevalence to any of the religion, not only Hinduism, because we are talking about temples. And constitution in itself just gives fundamental rights enshrined under the Article 25 and 26 for that matter. 25 gives the freedom of religion, and Article 26 gives the freedom to manage the religious affairs.
Okay.
So in that case, it is more interconnected to both. But whether it is being followed, like as the custodian of the constitution remains the Supreme Court, the same way the custodian of the agamic principles, whether it is being carried out as per the tradition and customs of that concerned temple, this will be done by the priest of that concerned temple. For instance, if we say there will be a separate set of priests,
Yes.
and separate set of agamic principles followed in different temples.
Yeah.
Like for example, agamic principles are the base. But when it comes to the principles and customs of that concerned temple, it differs. For instance, if we take South Tamil Nadu, they might have different
Different customs and
customs and
traditions.
traditions. Like the god might come in one side and go inside in other side
Yes,
in
yes.
one place. The other place has different customs.
Yes.
In that case, these customs, one common person will be governing these principles, and they will be giving a written letter to the HRNC administration stating that this temple should follow
This
these rules, which is like completely against, which should not be the case, but that is what is happening these days. In that case, we have to interfere into that, and we have to get the get those informations from that local priest, and then only we could just get involved in all those things. What has happened, only that local temple's priest know it. These persons who is writing it as per the agamic principles, but even then the customs and traditions which are being followed in that concerned place would differ from one place to another.
another. Okay, so my next question is, who really owns the temple rituals, the priest or the institution?
It is very clear that no one can just tell that take their own proprietorship towards the temples. Temples are being owned by God, and it is for the people in the first place. The custodians of the administration might be the institution, like Hindu religious and charitable endowments in many states of India, and especially in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Hindu religious and charitable endowments act was being framed for some other purpose, and it is misused to a greater extent in some other way. So we need a proper scrutiny on the act in the first place. And the question as put forth was like whether the institution or the priest.
Priest, yeah.
When it comes to the tradition and customs of the temple, then it will be the priest who will be taking care of it. Like the traditions, only they know it. For that purpose only it was kept hereditary for these long years. But because of Seshammal case, everything turned upside down. In 1972, the judgment was given. Even then, it is very clearly mentioned by the Honorable Supreme Court in Seshammal case that the traditions and customs of any temple which follows the agamic principles shall be continued, and no tradition or customs shall be intervened by the administrators. And in that case, the hereditary archagaship only was being cancelled by the Supreme Court, and they told there shall not be any archagas who are being appointed based on the hereditary
Okay.
benefits, inheritance. They cannot be inherited with the same job what they are
Right.
doing it. That is applicable for the priest as well, but that is the case which created a lot of confusions, because the person who belongs to Tiruchengood temple for that matter, he knows about that temple very well, and generational traditions and what has been carried out for almost thousands of years. Only those people who are from that particular temple knows. If you are just asking that priest to go to another temple,
Then it
like for example, just 30 or 40 kilometers away, Bhavani temple is there. If you are asking them to go there, they don't know the customs and traditions which were being followed at that point of time. And moreover, Tamil Nadu, since we are just talking more about the place where I hail from, we have more than 69,000 temples in Tamil Nadu. So we are just taking more particular about Tamil Nadu state, and there every states and every region had different kings who ruled at that point of time, and each temples were being built by different kings. The temples which are located near Chennai, Kanjipuram, Mahabalipuram, those were being built by Pallavas, and the temples which are near Coimbatore and region, those were being built by Cheras,
Okay.
and those temples which are near Tanjavur district and like nearby districts, those were being built by Cholas. So the traditions and customs were also differing from kingdom to kingdom. Yes.
So my next question is, can tradition override constitutional rights?
Tradition overriding the constitutional right. Actually, the tradition is constitution and tradition both are interlinked towards each other. The thing is, as the constitution guarantees, Article 26 of the constitution, wherein it is very clearly written religious denominations, wherein the word religious denomination means that the special status which is being guaranteed to that particular people. For example, we can take Chidambaram case, Chidambaram temple, Nataraja temple, which was being taken from the Dikshidhas by the local authorities like HRNCE department. They took over the temple in the year around 2005 to 2010. They took over the temple and they just went into the litigation, and the litigation was going on for years. And Supreme Court concluded that Article 26 religious denominations, wherein you can take over the temple if there is some misuse being found, and that misuse which is being corrected on later on stage, the temple has to be handed over back. So in that case, the tradition which is being followed or not, the constitution look after it. Constitution in itself is a custodian of the tradition. Whether the tradition is being followed. If the tradition is not being followed, then it is a violation of the constitution. So both shall not be violated. Both are directly proportional to each other. If the tradition is being violated, then the constitution is also violated. If the constitution is violated, then tradition obviously, when it comes to the temple matters only is all about the tradition. Whenever the tradition is violated, the constitution is violated.
Okay, so my next question is now coming to the temple encroachment and land disputes. So, what do you think when the land is illegally or somewhere encroached by other people?
Yeah. When a land is being illegally encroached, when the land belongs to the temple, then HRNC, that is the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments, has to take action. And it is very clear they are the custodian of the administration of the temple, as we just mentioned in previous answers, that they are the custodian of the religious administration in means of financial and all those things. So the land is obviously a financial thing, and they should take action. The HRNC have to file cases and they have to recover as soon as possible. There are a lot of sections which has been mentioned in HRNC Act. Accordingly, they can recover their land and they can use it for the temple use in the further.
Okay.
But what is happening is completely weird. These Hindu religious and charitable endowments are not at all just filing any case, and they remain passive.
Okay.
The Honorable Supreme Court has told temple lands, when it is being encroached, they have to just take rigorous action against the encroachers, and they should not remain passive. But they need someone to file a public interest litigation related to them, and then they will take action. So that is not the right thing to do. They have to be active in all those things. There are a lot of lands which belongs to the temple which are being encroached and used for multiple purposes, not only for agriculture, for shelter, maybe for any other things, but it is the duty of the government to provide the land which shall be replaced. Like encroachments are not for this year or next year, or they haven't done it for this past 10 years, but which would have been done 100 years before, and they would have been carried out. For those people, we have to find a good replacement, and those lands which are revenue lands shall be converted for the shelter purpose and granted
To them.
accordingly. Yes.
So, as we talk about the court interference, right? So, can court interfere in religious practices as well?
Obviously, the court can interfere in the religious affairs to a certain extent.
Okay.
But it cannot just get into the traditions, and it cannot decide whether this tradition is right or wrong, whether this custom is right or wrong. They can just tell that this customs has to be followed, this tradition was being followed, and if it is not being followed, as we just discussed previously, that those as enshrined in the constitution, once if the tradition is not being followed, then it would be the violation of constitution. So the court will intervene when the tradition is being violated.
Okay. Then only
So obviously the court will not rewrite the religion, but it will ensure that whether the religion, where it meets the constitution, and tradition meeting the constitution.
So, is it possible that can a priest be removed by the administrative authorities?
Yes, the priest can be removed by the administrative authorities on any misconduct which has been done by the administrator, like priest. On that basis, a priest can be removed
Okay.
but there should be a proven misconduct
Okay.
and not following the rituals or traditions. As we mentioned earlier, priests are the custodian of the temple rituals and customs. So, if they have to follow it, they have to ensure that it is being followed as per the agamic principles.
So the next question is a temple dispute that changed your perspective towards endowments.
Actually, okay, we have handled a lot of matters which which are related to the temple disputes. By means of temple disputes, as I mentioned earlier, temple disputes can be either encroachments or it can be either tradition related. When it comes to the traditional things or customary rights that has to be followed by the temple authorities, we handled a matter wherein I just filed a public interest litigation, Surya Kannan versus State of Tamil Nadu in the year 2023, wherein we got a clarity regarding the Mahakumbhabhishekam in Palani temple, wherein the tradition was being violated, and we filed a case against this, and they were not performing the Mandala Puja at that point of time. Actually, the Kumbhabhishekam is of three stages. Mahakumbhabhishekam is the consecration ceremony, which was recently held in Ramar temple, Ayodhya. That is very common in any temple all around the world. Wherever a temple is being built, there will be in different names. Maybe here it was called as Prana Pratikshta, but there it is called as Mahakumbhabhishekam. Once in 12 years, this Mahakumbhabhishekam has to be repeated. Any renovation work of the temples that has to be carried out, that will be carried out after this 12 years. And again, the consecration ceremony will be done. It means that the Mahakumbhabhishekam will be just of three stages. First stage would be Balastabhanam, that is transferring the power of God into one place, and then the work of that place, whatever has to be renovated and refurbished, whatever, that would be done at that point of time. And then it is Mahakumbhabhishekam. Then it is of 48 days of Mandala Puja. Post that only the Kumbhabhishekam ceremony is being completely fulfilled. But there were a lot of problems which we were facing in Palani temple, where it begins, like where it began. My legal journey towards the temple litigation began from Palani temple, uh, like where there were just lot of irregularities in performing the
Rituals.
Mahakumbhabhishekam. Yes, it is one of the very biggest ritual. And in between that Mahakumbhabhishekam and Mandala Puja, there shall not be any festival that is coming in between. That is how the agamic principles
Say.
states.
Okay.
So, as we follow the constitution, like any act that is being passed by the parliament, if it violates the constitution, then the Supreme Court has the right to intervene into that. The same way, the Arabic principles are the constitution, which is supposedly to be followed by the temple priests, and temple will be constructed based on the agamic principles only.
Okay.
And next would be we handled another matter in 2024 relating to the same, and which was also on the same date. Fortunately, we got something on January 10, 2024. We filed a case, and that was also a public interest litigation. It was related to 8 temples, wherein 8 temples, gods of 8 temples, all are Lord Shiva. They used to come to Kaveri river on that particular day of Taipusam. But government and the state administration at that point of time, they told that the Balastabhanam is kept pending and we cannot do this ritual because of one temple.
Okay.
The other 7 were ready.
Okay.
But we intervened and we just had a meeting with that 8 priest, and they told very clearly that there is a Swayambhu Murti, wherein the Lord Shiva has created on its own. There was no carving or anything of that kind. So that is called a Swayambhu Murti. Wherever the Swayambhu Murti is there, there is no need of Balastabhanam in the first place. If the Balastabhanam is done also, there is no point of intervening into the festival. That is what the local priest stated, and we filed a public interest litigation in the same name, Surya Kannan Sabhanayagam versus State of Tamil Nadu, wherein in that case, they ordered 8 temples also should perform the same festival as per the culture and tradition as far 1,000 years what was being performed, let it be performed in that way.
Okay.
So that is how we entered into temple
Temple
litigation, and it became more interesting day by day. Yes.
So you mentioned misuse, and misuse by whom?
Misuse done by the administrative authorities. Administrative authorities, in the sense, they are the Hindu religious and charitable endowments. These joint commissioners and assistant commissioners who are being appointed in Hindu religious and charitable endowments, which is one of the most corrupt government organization. And the first one would be Revenue Department in Tamil Nadu, and the second rank goes to Hindu religious and charitable endowments. We are just filing a public interest litigation related to the same in the near future to just check their accounts thoroughly by Controller Auditor General and further by the Finance Ministry. The intervention of central government would be most required because lot of funds of income tax are also being misused by industrialists as well as the temple authorities. To show the ATG certificate and all those things as per the Income Tax Act, what they used to do, they used to donate a lot of money and they used to write the same as they spent from HRNC funds.
Okay.
So these sort of corruptions are going on.
Okay, so at last, in your experience, have you gone through the courtroom battles over temple rights?
Courtroom battles.
Yeah.
Okay. In first place, actually, I appeared for Perur Temple in 2025, wherein the same issues related to the Mahakumbhabhishekam that was being done, and we face courtroom battles only with those parties who are being affected. It is a very common thing when a party affected. When the party is following one sort of culture and the other party wants another form of culture. When it comes to Perur Temple, the particular place where I hail from, the Coimbatore district, I was facing a lot of troubles because I was on the side of Sanskrit. These pujas were being performed only in Sanskrit for years. Now they came up with a new thing called I will do it in my mother language. These pujas will be done in the mother language, in their mother tongue, obviously, in Tamil and Karnataka, Kannada, and in Telugu, and all those languages. Those came up, and because of some political inclination towards one particular party who never goes to temple, they intervened in this, and with the support of the missionaries and other religious institutions, they came up with a new thing that I will do this puja in Tamil. For that also we intervened. That had a very big courtroom battle, wherein it was between one party and the other, and the government took the other side because they want this priest to bring into the verge of extinction. That is what is done by the HRNC institutions. Once it is done, then there will be no temples. Temples will come into the verge of extinction. Once the temple will come into the verge of extinction if the priests are being affected. If the priest is not there, then no one will open the temple. No one will be going to the temple. That is their goal, ultimate goal, and the vision. What this is going through as far as now, if we see, this is what is going through. They can intervene into the tradition and culture, and then only they can get into the temple.
Okay. So, after all the conversation about the temple and the land dispute and encroachment, so at last, what do you want to share all the audience and viewers who are listening to you? Any one message about your journey and something that you want to highlight?
The thing is actually law. The temple disputes are not a normal disputes. What I feel is everyone has to go to temple, and everyone should respect their own religion. Their own religion, whichever the religion they hail from, or whichever the customs they hail from, they have to just respect it. One should have mutual respect towards the other religion as well. They should not, because of the forceful conversion and what not. Now in India, a lot of things are going on because of the liberty that is being granted to these people based on the name of fundamental rights. They used to bring everything into the fundamental rights on the ambit of golden triangle, as we used to tell. Article 15, 19 and 21, that it is called as golden triangle, so that you can bring anything into that.
Okay.
Mostly, but it is the court which has to decide whether it falls into the fundamental right or not.
Or not.
And it is almost what is happening to the priest in Tamil Nadu state is like deeply anguished. I am not having any other word to tell about this, which makes me to feel very deeply anguished. and it is a mental agony which is being faced by those priests, has to be ended as soon as possible, because agamic tradition, one who want to follow the faith, is not being allowed. Like none other religion does it. Our own religion is doing to our own religion. There should not be Hindus against Hinduism.
Yeah.
That is our principle. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.